This is a termination notice written in JSON. It's a 3-line payload of code that fired Divya, a senior AI architect, not with a meeting, but with a math equation. The system calculated her removal would save exactly $142,000, and it executed the command. The moment the script runs, the physical building turns against the employee. Her Active Directory session drops, her desktop locks down, and when she tries to leave, the RFID turnstile in the lobby snaps shut, flashing amber as it logs her suspended credentials. The company justifies this through a system called the Talent Lifecycle Optimization Model, or TLO. They pitch it as an objective, flawless math engine. It analyzes hardware costs against employee output and coldly trims the inefficient nodes off the corporate ledger. But Divya actually built the attention mechanisms for this specific AI. She knows her own output metrics, and she knows the math doesn't add up. To figure out if the machine is broken or operating exactly as designed, she has to look inside the black box. Divya is here on an H-1B visa. The second that automated firing executes, a strict 60-day federal countdown begins. If she can't find a new corporate sponsor in exactly 2 months, her legal right to stay in the country evaporates. Finding a new sponsor is nearly impossible in a frozen tech market. The major firms aren't hiring, leaving vulnerable workers trapped in a legal purgatory. Their only option is to sign predatory contracts with lower-tier subcontractor body shops just to pause the federal clock. This automated command weaponized Divya's legal status, initiating an exile from the life she spent 12 years building. Divya sneaks back onto the corporate campus through one of those body shops. She enters as an unindexed ghost worker subcontractor. Because she physically sits on a decommissioned floor, she can bypass the external firewalls and access the back-end networks directly. Using a stolen middle manager's administrative token, she tunnels straight into the raw performance database of the TLO model. She wants to see exactly how the AI graded her. Here's the raw database output for her employee ID. You can see her stellar 4.8 performance rating sitting right here. But look at the next column. 14 days before the automated layoff email went out, that 4.8 was manually overwritten with a failing 2.1. The system logs every modification. This edit traces back to a very specific authorization token, auth-vp09. That clearance prefix is restricted entirely to the vice presidential executive tier. The AI did not evaluate her codebase and decide she was obsolete. A human executive fed manipulated data into the database to force the machine to execute her. But the manual database overrides only explain a few targeted firings. To understand why her entire immigrant cohort was disproportionately flagged, Divya digs deeper, past the SQL tables and into the raw Rust integration code that powers the AI's logic. This diagram represents what she finds buried at line 402. It's a hard-coded function sitting right in the source code. When the AI processes employee salaries, this hidden filter intercepts them. If a salary falls within one highly specific bracket, the system secretly multiplies that worker's cost footprint by 2.4 times. That specific penalized salary bracket maps perfectly to the Department of Labor's legally mandated prevailing wage for H-1B immigrant engineers in this county. The machine is entirely logical. It is executing a mathematically flawless optimization based on a rigged, hard-coded input, designed exclusively to inflate the cost of visa holders and purge them from the company. Divya packages the raw source code and the database logs into a payload. In the dead of night, she attempts to extract this encrypted proof to a tech journalist to expose the executive tier. To bypass the corporate firewall's volume thresholds, she fragments the data, forcing the system to slowly drip the files out over an encrypted tunnel. It isn't slow enough. The enterprise data loss prevention system detects the bandwidth anomaly. It traps the connection, freezes the port, and immediately routes a critical security alert straight to the manager whose stolen token Divya is using. The system defends itself by activating the campus's physical and digital surveillance, trapping the whistleblower before the truth escapes. The executive motive behind all of this is brutally simple. Management needed to hit a massive 15% operational budget cut. Doing that by explicitly firing their expensive immigrant workforce would invite catastrophic discrimination lawsuits and horrible public relations. So they use algorithmic optimization as a corporate shield. The code quietly manipulates the massive federal immigration apparatus, laundering in legal discrimination through the unquestionable authority of mathematics. If a human manager fires you because of your visa status, you have clear grounds for a lawsuit. But if an AI terminates your contract due to, quote, hardware footprint inefficiency, it's dismissed as standard structural realignment. AI is a perfect, unquestionable financial weapon for the executives who control the inputs. It provides the mathematical cover to execute human malice with total deniability.